baby TIE fighter is ready for some space blasting action with today's game, Demon Attack, for your Atari VCS 2600. And let's see, it looks like they took some chrome, generic 1980s dinosaur toys and added some G.I. Joe missiles and wings. Awesome! That is so great. Let's go ahead and take Demon Attack, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Demon Attack was published by Imagic and carries a copyright year of 1982. It was programmed by one of the co-founders of Imagic, Rob Bulop, who also programmed Missile Command for Atari for the 2600, which are reviewed in episode 425. The manual opens with the following: marooned on the ice planet Krybor, you watch legions of eerie creatures scream overhead. They hover ominously. Attack and destroy them, or be destroyed. Armed with your laser cannon, you confront the ultimate challenge: survive. Demon Attack is a Space Invader style game for 1 or 2 players. Atari thought the game actually resembled another Space Invader style game, Phoenix, which they had the home rights to. They would sue Imagic and eventually the two companies would settle out of court. In the game, you use the joystick to move left and right and hold the button down to fire, but you can only have one shot on screen at a time. You face creatures in waves of 8, starting with 3 on screen at a single time. When you shoot one down, it is usually quickly replaced until you clear all the enemies. Clear a wave and you move on to the next, more difficult wave with new enemies that sometimes fire harder to avoid shots. As you progress, shot enemies will split into 2 parts. Shooting one of the parts will sometimes trigger the other part to do a suicide dive towards you. If you defeat all the enemies of a wave without losing a life, you get an extra life with a maximum of 6 lives. Demon Attack has a total of 10 variations, most for 1 or 2 players alternating. Some variations have straight shots, while others have guided tracer shots. Some start at the first wave, while advanced games skip ahead to some of the more difficult waves. There are also 2 co-op variations, where 2 players share lives and attack the same wave together, taking turns, where every 4 seconds or so, the ship on the screen changes color, with the color indicating which player is controlling the ship. For any game variation, putting your difficulty switch in the A position makes the enemies more aggressive. You can use the difficulty switches in this way to help handicap 2-player games. Scoring wise, shooting a demon starting at the first wave is worth 10 points, and every time you complete 2 waves, the score increases by 5 points until it reaches a maximum value of 35 points per demon starting in wave 11. Whenever you shoot a split demon, you get double the amount of the base points, and shooting a diving demon will actually get you 4 times the base value. Also, in the 2-player co-op games, if you get hit, the other player gets 500 points. When the game was first released, the screen would go blank if you cleared the 84th wave, essentially beating the game. However, it's been reported that Imagic never expected anyone to get that far, and that they updated later cartridges to continue playing endlessly, although I personally cannot confirm this. Graphically speaking, you have a blank black background and an okay looking ship, but some really cool multicolored enemies that constantly alter their look. When I played this game as a kid, for some reason your shots looked like test tubes to me. Drink this, demons! Sound and music wise, I really like the simple music that increases in intensity as the wave progresses, as well as some of the awesome sound effects. Family friendly wise, this game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if it was released today. At the time I researched on eBay including shipping, loose copies were going for $4 to $6, complete copies were going for $11 to $22, and new copies were selling for $13 to $25. So what did I think of Demon Attack on the Atari 2600? Demon Attack has held up incredibly well. It has some nice looking enemies and really neat sounds, and the controls are very tight. I also thought the difficulty was just right for me. Someday, I'd also like to try the unique co-op mode, which I thought was a clever way to implement a 2-player game. Really, for a 2600 game, I have no complaints. So where am I going to rank Demon Attack? This one is going into my top 10, really close to one of its arch rivals, Space Invaders, at the 9th position. And both games are great and highly recommended. But in the end, I like the style of Demon Attack just a little bit more, so I'm going to give it the slight edge. So out of the 161 games I've now ranked for the Atari 2600, Demon Attack is descending into the 9th position. Demon Attack was a blast to play back when it came out, and is still a blast to play today. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please click like and subscribe and follow me both on the Facebook and the Twitter. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. At this time, I'd like to thank all of my extraordinary Patreon supporters, including Steve C. Thank you, Steve. You too can help support the show, gain access to exclusive content, and be able to vote on future games I review by signing up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and keep some test tubes handy in case of a flying creature invasion.